Hey Miss Sherrill's class, this is actually your last video on paragraph writing and it's about concluding or finishing your paragraphs. So, you've written a paragraph, but it doesn't feel right. Something's missing. You have a strong claim, it explains how or why. You have evidence that's contextualized, introduced properly, cited, and it supports your claim. You've analysed that evidence using level 1, 2, and 3. So what's missing? What's the best way to finish a paragraph? Relate, the R of clear. You need to make or show a connection. And you can do this by finding links and showing them, restating your claim or saying it again, or summing it all up. So let's say you've written a paragraph. The relate statement comes at the end of your paragraph. It's the final sentence. Now, what you want to do is you want to relate it back to your claim. If you've only written one paragraph, you relate it back to your claim. However, if you're writing an essay, you might want to relate it back to the claim and the thesis statement or the central claim of your essay. Or you could even relate it back to the essay question or the prompt. Now, here's some tools to help you do this. First thing you want to do is you want to repeat ideas. What's the main idea of your paragraph? Repeat this in your final sentence as a way to sum it up. You want to repeat language. So use important words from the essay question, the prompt, the claim, or the thesis statement. And use synonyms and change the order of things. You want to say your claim again, but not exactly. So repeat it by using similar words and synonyms, or change the order of words. So let's look at an example from The Landlady. As we know, The Landlady is a short story by Roald Dahl about Billy Weaver, young man, seems successful, goes away on business, and he stays at a bed and breakfast. But his landlady, who's kind of obsessed with young, handsome, and successful men, kills him. She poisons his tea. And the story explores the theme of deception, as everyone in it in some way deceives. So, I've got my paragraph. In his short story, The Landlady, Dahl develops the theme of deception through the description of the landlady. When Billy, the protagonist, first meets the landlady, she is described as about 45 or 50 years old, with a warm, welcoming smile and round, pink and very gentle blue eyes. However, near the end of the story, Billy noticed that she had small, white, quickly moving hands and red fingernails. The word warm makes the reader feel safe, and a round face reminds the reader of softness because it is not sharp. The word pink also reminds the reader of warmth. Also, the word makes the reader feel safe. In the beginning of the story suggests that the landlady is a kind and safe woman. However, towards the end of the story, it is revealed that she might be dangerous and scary. The description of her white and quickly moving hands make the reader feel scared because they remind the reader of a monster or a spider, and this develops the theme that appearances can be deceiving. So, I've got a strong claim. It explains what Roald Dahl develops the theme of deception and how through the description of the landlady. I've got evidence. It's contextualized. I know what the quotes are talking about. I know who's saying it, why, when, where, how. And I've got evidence from the text to support my claim. I've got 3 levels of analysis. Level 1, effects of language. Level 2, the whole character, the whole setting, tone. And level 3, theme. But I needed that final sentence. So I've written one here. In sum, by describing the landlady as sweet in the beginning, but a little scary towards the end, Roald Dahl was able to develop the theme of deception in his short story, The Landlady. I have related everything and restated everything. If you look, you can see that I've used similar vocabulary. So I've said things like, develop the theme of deception, and by describing the landlady, I've used similar words, description, describing. I've not said exactly the same thing though. And I've got into a bit more detail and repeated ideas, making her sweet in the beginning but scary towards the end. Here you can see how I have used similar vocabulary. Develop is repeated, describe is repeated, deception is repeated. This helps to relate everything. If I were writing an essay, and my essay question was this, or my thesis statement was this, well, I want to use similar vocabulary. So how does Dahl use characterization to develop the theme in The Landlady? In his short story, The Landlady, Dahl uses indirect characterization and subtle imagery to describe the landlady in order to develop the theme of deception. You can see there that I've used the same vocabulary. And as I say, this just helps to relate everything back together. I've repeated characterization or characterizes, and the word indirectly. I've repeated develop and theme. I've repeated imagery. I've repeated deception. So remember, relate. Find links, restate your claim, say it again, sum it all up. If you're just writing one paragraph, relate it to your claim. If you're writing an essay, relate to the thesis or the question. And remember, repeat ideas, repeat language, and use synonyms and change order.